Trump just left South American leadership in absolute shock as he made another unprecedented and unexpected move against another country while all of the chaos is still breaking out in Iran. This is a crazy time to be alive. We're going to talk about everything happening geopolitically. I got a couple charts and have a friend of the channel coming up here to take a look at what he thinks the charts are doing. And I might be having lunch brought to me, hopefully. Hopefully Owen remembers to bring me food here as I'm starving Marvin in the blockchain basement. But let's get after it. You know, really, these times are crazy. It's the outest of times, and it's the craziest of times. It's the, I really can't believe what we're seeing right now in the world, and keeping up with the situation, monitoring the situation is difficult. This is a friend of the channel. Actually, I like him. I like him a lot. Jakey is out here monitoring everything going on right now. Let's check this out.
Yeah, right, bitch. No, hold on. What is it?
Iranian air defense.
Jeez, please. Fuck. Wait, what? No one should be pulled into this. I've literally been saying that. Hey, bitch. Fucking pay, bitch! Congress is a piece of shit. They're literally fucking useless. What the fuck is the point of Congress anyways?
It's been a long
This is the situation at hand. I can talk about everything going on in the world and not get shut off the internet. I've brought up this woman, good old Hillary H, many times, and I got in extreme trouble on TikTok. For now, YouTube's leaving me alone-ish, but definitely demonetizing and going after anything I say about her. So if you want to keep up to date with all of the craziness going on in the world, you really have to look it up on X. Now, on X, there's a lot of breaking news coming out about the conflict going on across seas. We have the United Kingdom confirming that the HMS Dragon deployment is delayed until next week, and the U.S. jets will start arriving in the UK Army bases in the next coming days, regardless of what Keir Starmer likes to say. And now we've upped the ante to biological warfare, apparently, question mark. We have Bonnie Blue reportedly being deployed into Iran as a biological weapon, according to HFR podcast. Not a great sign for the people. Now, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world today. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world today. We're going to cover a lot of the more recent news, of the more recent military movements that happened overnight. We have the U.S. Navy submarine hitting a Iranian Muj-class frigate, Iris Dena, with a torpedo on the southern coast of Sri Lanka. Really, this is a massive flex. And as I reported yesterday, the United States has taken a vast majority of the Iranian Navy out very quickly. And Iran is still being hit with shells. We have shock and awe style strikes carried out by the U.S. Israeli coalition in Tehran, capital Tehran. So much going on right now. Also, this is kind of weird. So the McDonald's CEO, he took like a little nibble of the McDonald's new product. It's a hamburger. It's not a product. So if they could start by calling it a hamburger again, that would, I think, be helpful for their advertisements. But really, I'm not a fan of eating at McDonald's. My son wants McDonald's because he hasn't had it for like maybe a half a year. He's trying to get me to give him McDonald's for his birthday, and I'm not sold on it, man. I really want him to forget that McDonald's ever existed, Now, while all this is going on in Iran, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Dubai, we have the U.S. military coming out of left field and launching an operation against Ecuador with Ecuadorian forces against designated terrorist organizations inside of Ecuador. Iran, Venezuela, Mexico, and now Ecuador. This is posted by Mara Nafal. American forces operating on multiple fronts simultaneously. This has got any world leader that has been standing up and, basically talking shit against America, sending drugs into America, trying to hack the American energy infrastructure, shaking in their boots. Now we have some more information and highlights of this movement. Let's see. On March 3rd, Ecuadorian and U.S. military forces launched operations against designated terrorist organizations. The operations are a powerful example of the commitment of partners in Latin America and the Caribbean to combat the scourge of narco-terrorism. Together, we are taking decisive action to confront narco-terrorists who have long inflicted terror, violence, corruption, and on the citizens throughout the hemisphere. This is a post from Southcom, U.S. Southern Command. We commend the men and women of the Ecuadorian armed forces for their unwavering commitment to this fight, demonstrating that courage and resolve through continued actions against these narco-terrorists. And I got to say this, news agencies or influencers that are afraid to talk against narco-terrorism that have been killing millions of people in the United States, go fuck yourself. Go hide in the corner where you belong. This is not a situation where you self-censor yourself for fear of some gang down in South America that's literally been killing your neighbors for decades. Grow a spine or go in the casket. This is what I would have to say for it. Now, the rest of the world, United States coming in like a tornado. Everyone else, we have the tornado's coming. The tornado is coming. And this is the season of the gloves coming off from the United States. And there's a lot of people that, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, this is Israel's driving this war. And this is World War III. And this is the United States fighting China through proxies. And everyone's like, no, it's an isolated incident. It's isolated. That's an isolated incident too. This is not an isolated incident. This is not 3-4 decades of China building up and trying to get ready to usurp the United States as a world supreme primacy. This is not an isolated incident. And I am so tired of hearing that. Yes, there's financial controls that come from the state that's smaller than New Jersey. Absolutely. But when it comes to military dominance across the planet, America is the dragon that is trying to retain that. And we're doing a quite good job of it in short order. We have movements. This is scenes out of Tehran that came out this morning. And just look at the situation at hand right now. Things are escalating. So
What?
fire, we have continued to barrage. The weird part about this timeline, and Tom Crown did a good job highlighting this earlier this morning. Shout out to you, Tom. Betting on nuclear drops, this is where you kind of blur the line on what's legal and illegal, right? If you're sitting here looking at Polymarket, they have a 22% chance of a nuclear weapon being detonated this year. Nobody wants nuclear weapons. Nobody wants nuclear weapons. I really, really would say that. I think that it's reasonable for Polymarket to pull that bet off. I don't want to say any major financial incentives given to a country to drop one of these things outside of the repercussions that they might face. It's also bad look for betting markets in general. Now I want to go over this. Ray Dalio. And now Ray has been saying some things that have had logic behind them, right? Looking at manufacturing capacity of China, all these things. But it also must be noted that Ray Dalio is heavily invested in China as well. Ray Dalio has warned against Bitcoin over privacy, central bank adoption, and quantum risks and market size. Criticisms once heard when Bitcoin was indeed $100. Dalio taking shots at Bitcoin. He's been doing this for quite some time, and there's going to be a lot of people that disagree with the expansion of Bitcoin. There's, the concerns that Satoshi's original wallet will be messed with by quantum computing. Quantum computing, I am not a computer scientist. I'm not going to come up here and act like I know exactly what is going on with quantum computing. I do feel that moving computers to the next age of compute capabilities is something that humans and billionaires and philanthropists are trying to do, right? Solving for the one and the zero at the same time, looking between the fabric of reality for all the possible situations, in essence, is the move of quantum computing. And, I've seen a lot of worry about how will Bitcoin do if quantum computing breaks encryption. I would more so be concerned about what your water supply, what your war landscape, what your bank will actually look like if encryption is broken in aggregate, right? There are bad actors that are trying to break those systems. And shout out to Iran. you fucking pricks, for trying to break the American infrastructure for the last 2 to 3 decades as well. That's a lot of things. Like, people act like this war against Iran is out of nowhere. It's not out of nowhere. They have been trying to shut our electrical grid down for decades. They have been shouting death to America for decades. I used to work in the industry. I know exactly what they've been doing. And so this didn't come out of nowhere. And when you poke the dragon multiple times, you end up finding out that there's fire behind that, right? Now, U.S. stock market is surging. There is talks in the New York Times right now, reports that Iran is working on a secret offer to the United States to negotiate a deal to the end of the war. Well, this is just a military operation, right? According to the situation at hand right now, it's not officially a war because this is a labeled military operation. Potential terms include Iran abandoning or drastically curtailing its ballistic missile and nuclear programs, Iran to abandon and drastically reduce the support for proxy groups. In return, Trump has suggested he would allow Iran's surviving leaders to maintain power. And Trump has also suggested that he would employ the Venezuela model. It remains unclear if a deal is feasible at this point in time. I want to back up here and talk about number 4 here. Trump suggesting that he would employ the Venezuela model. Let's take a rehash of what the Venezuela model actually is. The Venezuela model, you take out a leader that is friendly to the BRICS nations. You implant a leader that is more tied to NATO and United States, basically, interests. And if we do see a shift of power structure, and that's a big if, right? Because there's a lot of clerics voting on new guys to come in and take over the position as the leader of Iran and try to remain their course. But if we are able to implement a Venezuela-style deal that will cut off a lot of energy exports into China, that'll cut off a lot of resources that China has learned to rely on. And I will say this, having a Iranian footprint of Chinese influence where that particular country is gives China a great foothold to help Russia should they continue to push west into the European region. It's being cut off right now. We're going to see if the situation does remain where it's at. Really, the big thing is if China decides to go stand up for their friend that they convinced Iran all these years through economic partnership, through military drills with each other. Now that push come to shove, China floated back to their mainland, right? And they actually are probably looking more so at Taiwan while all of this is going on in the Middle East. Kind of seems like Iran's been betrayed by China from how things have been unfolding. Now, let's talk about crypto. Let's talk about the markets. I got my buddy Crank. How the hell are you doing, my good friend? Let's see. I don't got your sound here. See if I can turn it on. Maybe try a new sound. There it is.
What's going on, Disco fam? What's happening, Drew? Good to be back.
I'm doing good. You know, the move on Bitcoin, I was looking for it, and you were talking a couple days ago that the daily, you know, you made me start looking at the daily. Like I was watching the weekly. The weeklies, I'm so excited. Highlighted on the daily. Things were looking good a couple days ago. What are you seeing on the charts? Because the markets are seeming to be pumping, even regardless of all of this chaos that's been going on right now.
Yeah, man, this move was totally expected on the daily. So on the last show, I was telling you guys that you know, this is looking very similar to this price action right here. This is almost identical between this 80,000 and 97. We could see here that Market Cipher was showing us that momentum was getting weak to the downside. Money flow was getting very flat, and we had extremely tight RSIs. So history doesn't normally repeat itself, but it can have a rhyme and a rhythm.
Yeah.
We go to this section here. We could see momentum was getting weaker to the downside. Money flow is getting very flat. Very tight RSIs. I do think that this is going to squeeze a little bit higher. I'm thinking probably up towards, let's go from 97 to here. We could technically squeeze up into the 80s, man, and really just tell everybody that we're back. And then we can absolutely come down and sweep the lows at 60. I do not think that the bottom's in still. But again, guys, nobody knows. It's an if-then scenario. But as of right now, enjoy the pump. Enjoy your altcoins. They're screaming, guys. Understand that for your altcoins, Bitcoin is an indicator. So when Bitcoin starts getting exhausted, you better start offloading some positions because we're not back. You know, I'm just going to tell you right now. The only time I'll tell you if we're back is if we can start flipping 97 into support, 90 Gs into support, and we can hold it. But this is almost identical, guys. If you look here from the bottom of the range to the top, this is a 16% move. If we go from the bottom, this is already a 16% move. Do you see what I'm saying? This is already, this could be it. I think we're going to be going a little higher. Our momentum waves haven't even gotten started on the daily for a bigger, harsher squeeze. All right. We want to see this. And as we start creating these over a couple days, we're going to be looking for this price action from here to here with a bearish divergence. And so, again, this is lining up beautifully. We called the pump last night. I should have stayed inside of my, just due to my structure of my scalping method. Dude, I had a nasty trade. I was in, dude, at, sheesh, man, I even posted it, dude. I was in at right here, dude. I had it, dude. I had it from right here. This would have been almost 100 grand, dude. I had it, but dude, all I did was I closed it at the top of resistance right in here. Yeah. I closed it just due to my scalping method. I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh my Lord, this thing gave us the morning wood, dude.
Oh my Lord. Well, I got some stuff I want to run by. I got some ideas.
Yeah.
I would say I'm feeling more, I called for a bottom basically when we were at 60K because just based on the fear and greed and the previous all-time high, and I'm buying spot Bitcoin as if it's the bottom, right? But there's some things I'm looking at, and I do this kind of simply, and you're insanely good in the shorter, more medium time frame. I got a pretty damn good track record at a longer time frame. And what I see on the longer time frame is something I haven't seen in this trading. I wasn't trading Bitcoin in 2014. But the last time we saw this same type of double green dot structure where you have the green, double green print, a red, and then a double green print, it was 2014 when the price was like $200 per Bitcoin, right? So I'm looking at this flow and I'm feeling a little bit butt puckerish here because I thought that I would have more time, and we very well. I hope that your pressure to the downside and just kind of like a fake out rally is correct for just selfishly for me and more time to buy cheap crypto, right? I do hope what you're saying is correct. Something that I'm seeing here is the money flow is already trying to curve back up to the upside on the weekly time frame, which, for me, because I love covering red days and I love buying cheap crypto, is making me a little bit concerned because it took a lot longer for us to show any signs of curvature back to the upside. It's more so looking like this money flow move.
It's a bear market rally.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
It's a bear market rally. So this is not, dude. Bottoms are long, grueling accumulation, dude. I don't think Bitcoin's got the juice for a V-shaped recovery. 60K is it. I'm just going to tell you right now. This is a bear market rally. If you look at that, you're on the daily right there, right? You're on the weekly.
Weekly. Yeah,
you can see that the weekly is just getting started to the downside.
I know.
And it takes a long time, dude. This thing can pump all the way up to 80 Gs, and everyone's gonna say it's so back. And then, dude, it's I'm looking at because crypto's been beaten down so bad that we are due for a weekly green candle. Absolutely. But the moment I'm looking to the upside to a bull trap, sweep the lows, dude. Absolutely sweep the lows. And so, yeah, we start flipping that right there. And then again, if you pull that fib from that 97 to that 60, all right, go ahead. Very top one. Up one more.
Let's see here.
One more right there.
Shitty, well, I have a good mouse, but it's like it acts really weird. It's like kind of shaky sometimes. So we'll roll it from 96 down.
All the way down. You want that whole price action, dude. And you can see That golden pocket is just right above there, dude. So
Right.
I'm looking at right there, dude. And that's just it's gonna line up with this bear market downtrend. But I mean, I don't think Bitcoin's got the juice, man. But you did say something pretty cool, because buying a $63,000 spot Bitcoin,
Mhm.
you're buying at a 50% off, off the premium, 50%. So absolutely smart decision for the whole disco fan, for everybody. It's a smart play, 100%.
Well,
100%.
and what's messing with me is, so here's what I was hoping would happen. Let me just roll this by here, and then I want to look at your charts for sure. What I was hoping would happen is that we would have a more definitive roll down on money flow, right? And that's why just waking up this last few days is kind of concerning, seeing that red try to clip back up to the upside. But what I was hoping to have is a more concise, kind of deeper pullback and a smoother return back to green. Because what I do is I pad out and re-enter a lot of my coins when we're on this uptrend of money flow. And I just feel like this is too early. But a lot of these altcoins, they're trying to wake up right now. You know, some of the bigger gainers like Aerodrome is still under 40 cents, even though it's up by 9% today. I'm not touching Pump Fund. I don't really have an interest. Chainlink is trying to make that rollback up to $10, up 8% today. Ondo hasn't broke 30 cents, but it's also up 8% today. So, like, you know, I want to ask you this, how you're handling, because like I insulated myself heavily and I only hold a couple altcoins. Are you going to be buying spot altcoins, seeing the money flow where it's at right now? Or how are you kind of handling that approach as we're seeing the money flow really try to kind of throw?
Well, look at that little baby bump, dude. And then you were pretty much on the chart, dude. If you go back to what you were looking at on the weekly, and you looked at this, look at this, dude. This money flow is just right here. You can have a little bear market rally before this thing starts rolling over.
Yeah, let's
look at it right
actually.
here. You see, you could pull this up right in here, dude. And here's your money flow that we were looking at. Little baby bump right in here, dude. It had a little pump. We were right here. It looks like it could be curving in. You know what I mean? We get this little bear market rally, and from here to the top, what do you know, dude? 20%, 22%, and then it just finishes us off. Do you see what I'm saying? This is almost, I mean, this is identical if we're going to look at it. Let's even go from, let's really zoom in and look at from this candle.
Because there's some differences. There are some differences because we're already on the upside for the
candle to here. Bro, look at this. This is the same 15-16% pump, dude. It's the same little baby money flow. Remember, all of this hasn't created yet. If we just look at this right here, dude, we're just barely entering into the red. We got this same, and again, Disco fam, I'm looking from this green candle bottom to this top right here. And then over the next week, this thing is going to give it all back. Not saying that that's going to happen, but if we're looking at this and we're saying, hey, this could be the bottom, this was it, this is a nasty candle, we finally got the sweep of 30s. Dude, this thing came all the way down to 26. It came right back all the way up to 32 and finished it all off, baby. Boom.
Right.
This is, I mean, this is very identical, Drew. Look at this, dude. This thing's giving us that 16% pop.
Yeah.
This could be it. And
I want to look at something here real quick and kind of compare and contrast notes. So I'm looking at the same thing here, and I just will note that the VWAP is in the positive, right? The VWAP didn't go positive in the last bear market as money flow is going down until basically here.
Until we really started getting the,
super still meant we had pain ahead of us. 100%. We were further through the process. Now there's some, it's like a tale of two cities because the candle structure of the area you were just highlighting is very, very similar to our current situation. You have that deep wick that's eaten up. You get the rally a couple weeks later, and the rally is probably reading similarly to what we got right now. See, the rally reads a 10% pump, pretty much exactly what we see right now. Let's just measure
same 10%er. It's
that's 10%.
I mean, it's
right. So, looking at this, it's like the candle structure is very, very similar currently to this mark, which you just highlighted. The difference that I'm seeing here, and I just wanted to be fair to all the metrics, is that the VWAP never put its greasy little head up into the positive. The VWAP only put its head into the positive when we had cascaded down to 19K.
You guys don't know, it's a volume weighted profile.
Mhm.
All right, volume weighted. So let's just put it this way with that particular Bitcoin has just been pummeled. It's had so much sell pressure against it, dude. This little thing could just, I mean, you could see right now, we're peeking our head into it, dude. But look, these things could be so short-lived right in here. It could peek its head up. Yeah. This was back here between right here. You can see same thing, kind of just peaked on up, dude, and then just gave it right back. Dude, Bitcoin is due for an absolute it is due for a green week, dude. Volume needs to come back in. You know, we're seeing pullbacks on gold, silver. The only thing that is down completely, dude, 60% is Bitcoin. It's the only thing that it has the, I mean, dude, if we were to look at the market cap here of Bitcoin, it's at, you know, Bitcoin's sitting at 1.4 trillion, dude. This thing can be maneuvered a million different ways. We just saw $1.4 trillion silver at 36 bucks and it ripped. And then it's pulling back from 118s to $70 in a single day. Guys, I'm just here to tell you, on a $1 trillion, the people in the whales just proved that if silver can have it done, if silver can have this happen, then I'm telling you, it could totally happen with Bitcoin. This thing can be manipulated to the downside, to the upside. Wouldn't be surprised. Bitcoin can squeeze, dude, to $3 trillion and go right to 120 overnight again. I just don't hold it back. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. Oh. You're saying some very reasonable things, because we're seeing, you know, 20% moves on $3-4 trillion market cap assets, right? Bitcoin is a very small drop in the bucket when it comes to gold and silver, if you're trying to compare it that way. Now, I want to ask you this. Are you going to Bitcoin Vegas?
I am. I will be seeing you guys all out there.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
I don't know. We need the link in the description, but we need to hang out at Bitcoin Vegas. We're going to be
together.
Yeah, man. And I'm trying to war game away, because I may have a couple extra tickets. May or may not have a couple extra tickets. So I'm working on that for Bitcoin Vegas, for the conference.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know? Well, Owen, you're totally fucking coming, okay? You're totally coming. He's like wondering if he can come. Of course he can. They forgot the garlic?
Yeah. One of my sponsors, dude, this will be my first year. I'm pretty excited. I got one of those well passes, brother. I got one of those well passes to go in and go do all the advertising, get with all the whales, do all the networking, get to all the after parties.
Good.
Be going on. I'll be there, dude. I'll be there representing, man. I can't wait to be with good. It'll be great to meet all of you guys in person, Drew and TJ. Who's all going? DZ.
Yeah, DZ, me, TJ. Apparently Owen wants to come, so he'll come.
Right on, Owen. I'll see you there, brother.
Yeah, man. Now, in this environment, Craig, risky biscuit, hammering back in alts from where things sit. Like I'm not seeing enough confluence to feel like it's hammer time on alt. And I only have a few that I'm feeling good about. Do you what is the altcoin that you're going to be buying or buying currently, or are you writing them off in general? Like, what do you think about the altcoin sector?
So on the last couple streams, Disco Fam, I was saying that be very cognizant of what happened this last cycle. All right, be very cognizant of what happened last cycle. We should have had the biggest alt season in history when Bitcoin touched $126,000, and that money did not rotate. That money didn't rotate, and so, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So if we now know that this is an institutional market now, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, these are assets, guys, that have ETFs. When that money rotates, I'm going to be an institutional player on institutional assets. It's called following the smart money. I'm not going to be players on a lot of things that I thought were going to pump, man. The money didn't rotate. And so I'm not going to be going into the next 2.5 years accumulating some of these altcoins that I'm going to be hoping pump. If I'm going to hope anything pumps, I'm going to hope an institutional asset pumps. And so, again, institutional assets, Ethereum ETF, XRP ETF, Solana ETF. I really think that Solana's day is not over, dude. I really like Solana more than I like Ethereum. Me and Crypto Blood were talking about this, dude. And I think that Solana, man, just going from 90, it's got 200% to roll. I think that even now, everything like the OG coins, I think I said this on the last stream. We'll look at my chart real quick, and let's just look at Cardano. All right, you know that the ADA gang is strong out there, right?
You love Cardano. You're one of the biggest Cardano whale holders, lovers.
See, we just did a stream with Wendy O, and the government, the Clarity Act, just really set me apart from everything else. Yeah. I just want to give up.
You are going to get yelled at by Charles Hoskinson because you're
hopefully I get to meet him one day at Bitcoin Las Vegas, and he tells me, Craig, what the fuck, man? We're in it for the tech. We're in it for the tech, and I'm going to be doing as many collabs because I'm down $3 billion, but I haven't sold yet because I'm still in it for the tech.
Frank, you should do a Britney Spears crash out dressed up like Wario, bro. And then
I like him, dude. I tell you what, you don't want to hear me tell you I told you so. If that dude ever leaves the Cardano blockchain, if he ever leaves that thing, it's dead. He's holding that bad boy up. That's what happened to EOS. Remember, it was all good and EOS, and then all of a sudden the dude left the project. Please don't let that happen, dude, because it'll just be the end of day, you know. But let's look at Cardano, guys. It's got a very strong community, very, very, very strong community. Mm-hmm. And if we were to look at it here, all you were looking for was just again, we'll start it off from the beginning here. We were just looking for a bear market rally. I mean, literally, you're not asking for a big pump, guys. This is called getting your expectations and your portfolio in line for just, dude, this is a very, very easy. If you could see here that we have multiple tops right in here. Mm-hmm. If we went from here to here to here to here, you could see multiple touch points right in here, resistance, support, or resistance, couple of supports. All you're looking for is a bear market rally to the top of this thing, dude, and that's 140%. I mean, where else?
That's like 70 cents, right? Because, like,
dude, yeah. All you're looking for is
long at all on this thing.
Dude, it's easy. This is easy, guys. Like when this thing gets rolling on a weekly, like in 2 weeks, this thing can go 30%. It can go from, 32 cents to 42 cents. Just understand, guys, the market that you're currently in, and also understand you guys need to be trading and investing in the market you have, not the market you want.
Yeah.
And so understand that these pumps right in here, dude, you're not even asking for a bigger pump. Like, look, you got a high, a lower high, a lower high, but even this lower high for targets is this is a killer 130. Guys, where else could you put a couple $100 in and get $400 or $500 back?
Right.
Where could you put in a couple $1,000, get a couple of grand back in probably a relatively short period of time? Sometime this year, sometime in the, if it, and again, so what I ended up doing on this last cycle, when I bought a boat ton of Chainlink, dude, at $5 and we went up to 50, I told myself, you know what? I ended up taking off half off of the table, but then we came back down to $6, $7, $8, right? And I said, dude, well, let's start looking. This is when AJ and a lot of you guys, DZ, were going over the new market caps with the token circulations.
Right.
So I'm sitting here looking at Chainlink going, dude, $30 is it. So I bought a boat ton of Chainlink, made a 4X, dude, sold a boat ton of it at 30. I rebought back in at 14. I bought another 200 grand. I posted that live. I'm still sitting on all of that Chainlink. Right. But my expectations now, dude, if Chainlink gets right back up to 25, $26, dude, I have zero problems dusting it and making my quick couple hundred G's and that's my expectations for my investment portfolio, but I'm not going to be selling at these lows, guys. Chainlink at $7, $8. I don't think Chainlink's done. I know that I've seen a couple of videos, man. I think that everything's in a bear market. We are in a full-blown, full-out bear market. Bitcoin is having bear market pumps. So I just have my expectations. I will happily be wrong if Bitcoin turns around and makes a V-shaped recovery. No big deal. But my expectations for this next cycle, dude, is if you guys want to get into these token or these oldies, you know, the OG tokens, ADA, Near, AVAX. AVAX has even a better looking chart. It's not only just 130%. If we were to look at AVAX, AVAX just to get into a bear market rally, just like a pump where it fakes everybody out. If we go back here, look at this, dude. That's all you're asking for. You're buying at bear market lows, and all you're asking for is from here to here is 180%. It's even bigger, man. This thing's been just beat down like a Cherokee drum, dude.
Well,
like
the lower highs from last bull market really concern me. Like
on all of them almost.
Yeah, I mean, it's really concerning for me to see everything that just transpired over the last few years. And then they put in those extreme lower highs. Like Solana hit a higher high. Look at that.
Totally different.
You know?
XRP, Solana, BNB, institutional assets. And so again, that's where I'm focusing on. You know, I just that's what I would be focused on my alts, dude. I'm not buying. I don't even know if I mean, dude, if now, other than those core assets, okay, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BNB, Tron, core assets. If you want to take flyers that are still building, like a flyer instead of a meme coin, I would pick Aerodrome. Yeah, it's built. You know, take that as a flyer, but you can't put that into your core profile. That's just me, then, because again, it's not an institutional asset. It does not, dude. Everyone said 62 cents. We're down 50% from that. If Bitcoin truly puts in its bottom at 35, 45 grand, you're going to get a 15 to 18 cent Aerodrome. I mean, it's just inevitable. 20-cent Aerodrome, dude. And so, again, just understand you guys got to have a core portfolio, cores. All right? Understand, guys, that Bitcoin did a 6x. If you would have just bought Bitcoin instead of all these altcoins, you would have made a 6x. If you would have understood that this was an institutional asset. Solana, guys, from $60, $40 to $300. I mean, dude, big. ETH only did a 2x or 2.5x or whatever it was, but BNB did a 5x, dude, $250 to $1,400. Yeah, you know, the
Solana one I wanted to ask you about, because we knew that there would be at least some sort of defense around $70 for Solana, and now it's at 90, and it's still under 100 as far as I look at it. But the turbulence zone, I mean, you could clearly see where we're at, is starting to fight back. You had some low targets that made me very thirsty for cheaper Solana, though. Around, like, I can't remember where it was. Maybe.
Well, what was crazy was during that stream, dude, we were sitting right up here around $100 and $70. And I said, I think you said, hey, dude, I'm really excited about a $780. I said, dude, you're going to get a $50. And never, I think it was like that very next day, dude, like this thing freaking rolled over to 67, just melted through it, dude. So I like this, but on a macro, very macro level, we're talking bear market lows of $8 to all-time highs of $296. Look at where we bounced, dude. This is beautiful to see that the asset bounced off of this 786. This could be a bottom. Or what I would like to see is if it played around in here. Again, guys, this thing kind of just plays around. You will never see a bottom created in a day, dude. That is short. This is short-lived. You want to see this, and you could just go to every single asset. You can go to Bitcoin, this right here. This is long, grueling accumulation, bottom zones, man. Bottom zones. Long accumulation, bottom zones. Litecoin, all long accumulation, bottom zones. This is not a long accumulation bottom zone.
Yeah, it's unhealthy to think that is like some new price structure that's going to sit and hold for sure. Like,
it's just a bear market rally, man. It's just a bear market rally. So like I said,
I wanted to ask you for trading sake or for my trading sake, because you know we did
Mm-hmm.
great with calling. You know, the quant gave us a bunch of longs this morning, so that was good.
Beautiful.
But in my mind, I'm looking at this and I feel like we're already at a likely zone of turbulence, literally at $73,500. Like, are you waiting to start shorting again in aggregate when we go up
No.
to 80 or what?
Yeah. I am. And going back to Bitcoin being at, let's just go over here to like a 4 hour.
Mm.
Right here, we had a, you know, this was 94, right? Couldn't get over the 94K hump. Look at what we did, dude. We had our first breakout. It pulled back. Everyone thought that they were going to get this short, and then it squeezed even higher. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's where we got that $97,000, $98,000. This is our first impulse wave right in here. Boom. You can see our first impulse wave. I'd like to see this thing kind of just do one little pullback. Everyone's going to try to short this thing. Everyone's trying to short it right now. Everybody is trying to short this, thinking that they got the breakout. This is our first impulse wave. It comes down, squeezes a little bit higher, and then rolls completely over. Gotcha. So that's what I'm looking for. It's very identical to, again, from here to here. You guys can see, look, resistance. This is actually our 70K. Yep. So this was 94. We had the resistance here. Kind of just down like that. Resistance. We broke out. We finally just sweep the 73s. All right, 72.2s. We squeezed. I want to see this thing kind of pull back a little bit and then squeeze one more time. We're going to have some pretty big turbulence getting in here, into this right in here. And then you could also pull, watch, let's pull this too. Let's also pull a fixed volume range, dude.
A lot of shorts I'm seeing on CoinGlass right now, or a lot of longs too. Currently on like the 24-hour, while you're pulling that up, I'm going to go through the liquidation maps, see if anything sticks out to me.
I mean, as far as liquidity goes, man, you could see that this is going to be our big 77, 75. And then on top of that, we pull the fibs from this high to this low. I mean, the top of this volume right up here, the 78 grand, maybe, but this is where the next big volume is. You guys can see right in here. We just broke through this. We're at the top. We're not even at the top yet. We're right in here. We're in the center. A little bit more of a squeeze like I'm talking about, maybe to this 0.5. Come down, squeeze one more time, and then this thing rolls over. It'd be identical to this right in here. Boom. Something like that is what I'm looking at, dude. We'll see.
Max chaos. And like I'll show you on the liquidation. See, the chat's asking for it. This is a liquidation heat map on the symbol Bitcoin. So it's taking a lot more than just one exchange. And there's some pain if it hits 70,100. Meaning there's a lot of longs in place right now. No one gets paid forever, you know, in leverage trading. And so I'm happy leaving with like 30% gain in a day. If I fall asleep, and what I do is if I put a trade in late at night or let it go, I keep a stop loss in case it goes wrong for sure. But if it starts moving my way, I'll just put the stop above entry so I can actually sleep.
Let it breathe. And
you know, sometimes I wake up to a couple 100%.
It's a great strategy, dude. I mean, it's a great strategy. Look at that. That's that pullback that I'm talking about. Just like a healthy, quick down, flip 70 into support. Everybody thinks that they got the short, and bang, dude, right up to 74, 78, something a real good healthy. This is just our first impulse wave, man. I don't think that this is done. And so I'll be floored if it actually is, because I don't think so. This is identical, dude, to 94. Everyone thinks they're going to short it, and they're all fat, juicing up the leverage, dude. It makes one little pullback there in profits, and then the very next 2-hour candle, dude, is going to smoke you.
Yeah, I remember that.
Flat out smoke you.
That was actually right around. Was that Maduro? Is that when we took Maduro? I don't think so. No,
I don't remember, man. I just the other thing too, man. I was inside of some spaces. And, you know, some people were saying, hey, this can get really, really bad with Iran. And here's the thing, guys, about the charts. We have to stick to the TA. You stick to the levels no matter what. And we trade the levels until they're no longer valid. If they're valid, we trade it. Second, It doesn't matter if we get a break of structure due to news, due to volume, due to manipulation. This is what a stop loss is for, to protect us. Who cares?
Right.
We get out at the break of structure, and that's it. Who cares if it was Wintermute or Jane Street or war with Iran? We break the level. Who cares? It's broken. It's invalidated. Don't need to cry about it. This is why we have the stop losses, to protect us.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'm looking at those levels up on top again.
Dude,
Yep.
everything going on in the world, I have half a mind to start making prepper videos again, but I feel like people don't even care. They don't care. They're not, the complacency's there. I almost am so tired of trying to get people to prepare
Be
for
self-aware of what the heck is happening.
Yeah, it's I'll do me, they do them, and they can get off my lawn if it actually happened. Right? That's kind of where I'm fucked.
Everyone should prepare, man. Most people don't have strategies like that, man. I know I have a couple of, I definitely prepare, dude. And I have some doomsday buddies, dude, that are like there's just mad essentials that you just kind of need. Most people don't understand that 3 major foods, I'm just saying honey, rice, and beans, they don't ever go bad. They last 30, 40 years. Honey can last forever. You know what I mean? Just stuff like that. Ammo, weapons, water, essentials, dude. Guys, nobody thought that something like COVID was ever going to happen. You know what I'm saying? They never thought anything like that was going to happen. It's funny, man, that due to access of VPNs and stuff, I'll never forget the whole pandemic stuff, dude. I was telling people about it, that they were going to close down the country for 2 months before it happens. And I have a buddy, and he's like, Crank, you're fucking crazy. And I said, dude, you're a pretty posh kind of fucker, man. You and your wife and the way you are. I said, you're not going to appreciate it, bro, whenever you go in and your fucking dog food. So I know what kind of your beautiful little beagles and the steaks that you eat and the toilet paper. He laughed at me, bro. Everybody laughed at me. And next thing you know, dude, I'm the one selling these guys freaking N95 masks. Yeah, you got those masks? I'm like, yeah, thousands of them, you prick.
Yeah, I will say,
it's funny,
I made
man.
money off of it too. Like, the chart of small arms ammunition is one of the better charts out there. And I remember picking up M855s for like they were like 13 or 16 cents in bulk. And I went to this. I'm not going to buy this ammo at these prices right now. There's no way in hell. Like, I'm just sitting on what I got, and it's actually gone up insanely high. I think that there's going to be a little bit of squeeze on ammunition supply as well.
Ammo Depot, dude, Midway USA. There's a lot of good places that I buy in bulk, dude. Me and my sons, we go and we do a lot of shooting, dude. Pistols, ARs, rifle. But yeah, man. Anytime that you can, like Christmas time, dude, I was able to buy 1,000 rounds for $280, a 5.56. Really? Dude, okay. I bought thousands, and I bought like 5,000 rounds, dude. Just load it up. Anytime there's ammo bulk and they're not going to charge you a bulk fee to deliver, yeah, you better just spend a couple $100, dude. And most people, so guys, I sold 230 ounces of silver. It took me forever to try to find somebody to buy this silver. I finally was able to get 90% of spot. Everyone says that you want to be able to get some silver to barter and trade. I'm here to tell you, ain't nobody want that fucking silver, dude. If shit hits the fan in America. So you know what I told my wife? I said, dude, I'm better off buying every Black Friday a super, super cheap 308 270 for like $280, a box of ammo. I'm better off barter and trading that stuff because it's utility. I could barter and trade that stuff for a cow, bro. People will take that. People don't want no little shades of silver specks to barter and trade like a currency, bro.
Oh, and everyone's starving. They're going to be really interested in your silver, right?
Bro, people can't even get off their phones for a day without the internet. They don't even know how to write an essay without ChatGPT, let alone try to find out. There ain't no way.
And look at this. Silver. This is the Fred producer price index for small arms ammunition and manufacturing. This is like one of the few just up-only charts for... This is 1985 till now, so it's just generally something I like. I might start a side channel. Some people, like DZ, had a good idea to just make it about this rabbit hutch that I'm going to build, or make it about the fencing and all that stuff, and then just label it construction. Because a lot of people out there, they watch that, and they'll figure that out. But I appreciate the chat here.
Yeah, they're
someone
loving it,
dropped
man.
your YouTube account. So that's Crank's YouTube in the
follow,
chat
guys.
at Crypto Crank. Crank, when do you go live, like daily, or like when can?
Yeah, I've been
people-
going live almost every single day, man. I've been going live every single day. I'll start getting active inside of the Discord. Make sure to get inside of the Disco fam. Get inside of the Discord. These guys got a quant over there giving out trades. These guys, it's sick, man. It's an excellent operation, dude. It's an excellent operation. But yeah, if you guys want to follow me over on YouTube, on my X, it's just at Real Crypto Crank. I'm always dropping charts, dropping P&Ls, guys, and just yeah, I love the Disco. I've been part of the Disco group, guys, since 2017.
Yeah,
you know,
and I like how you keep it real. You know what I mean? You keep it real. Like I fucked up so bad with Chainlink. I was able to jeet everything at like almost perfect pumps, right? In 2024 and 25, I just did really good trading, but I screwed up not taking the profits that I deserved on Chainlink when it hit 30 bucks. I only got when it was like 13 and like insulated myself from further pain. But on Chainlink, I'll probably get back in just a touch if it goes to like $6-7, just a little bit. I'm not going to go crazy.
Just, you get your heart broken, dude. I've had my heart broken so many times from these markets and these altcoins that I'm like, you know what? I'm scorned. You can't hurt me anymore, dude. So I tell you what, you can't hurt me anymore. We get 100% pump, and I'm sitting here going, dude, I know who's going to dump it. Binance is.
Yeah.
I know Hyperliquid's going to take their profits, bro. I want to play with these guys. I just saying, dude, I'm not getting beat up. And you know, I've had so many friends, dude, when I told them, dude, when you put $20,000-$30,000 into your accounts, dude, and you're up to 100 G's and everything's just, I'm like, dude, you need to probably take 75% off of the table. But you said it's going to 200,000. I said it could. I don't know. It's an if-then scenario, brother. But you've never been up 200-300% on your 30 grand. You have 100 G's. When was the last time you had 100 G's on 30 grand? You need to take some off of the table, brother. And that's the thing too, is it takes a real man and it takes a real woman to sell. Absolutely. Get out of this euphoria. It takes real, you know, and again, I still think Link's got a good, I think the Dino coins can totally rip, dude. They got strong communities, brother. XRP is a strong community. ADA, strong community. Link, strong community. Solana, you know, and even think about this. We even had Random Pumps Filecoin. I mean, you saw it, dude. We had a crazy random Filecoin, Cat Network, Zcash, Monero, privacy sectors, Litecoin. I mean, guys, these are OG. Doge went from 12 cents back to 40 to 3x. I mean, there's a lot of good plays, man. But I'm just telling everybody, get your expectations right for your money this time around, because if you guys want to participate, crypto gets really fun when you are able to withdraw. Most people don't ever withdraw, guys. And I'm telling you, you guys are around sane people right now. The Discover Crypto community, their websites, their channels. These are sane people talking to you. Good plans for the projects, good plans for the current environment.
Well, and
you need sane
people say that I act like I never lose. I lost a lot of value that I could have taken off the table on Chainlink, 100%. You know, and it, you know, taught me lessons moving forward. You know, there is a degree of shorty that since we make the banks so uncomfortable with Bitcoin, that we're snooping up the right tree. And that's why my kids are getting more and more Bitcoin. It's not even for me. I'm out here fighting these charts and these algorithmic robots and these billionaires with my tether, making more and making more. But I will say this, what you said, Crank, matters a lot. Most people don't have a item in mind or a action in mind that they want to have happen with profits. They are just out here trying to make something happen on their phone so they can take a picture, put it on the internet. Everyone will think that they're a genius. Build a game plan, because that helps me pull the trigger. When I have a target in front of my mind and I'm like, I want to accomplish this within this year, that target will hit and you're able to take profits to make it happen, right? So it's
guys, you're in crypto. In all reality, almost nobody really knows the tech. You guys are buying a project because somebody told you to, but you didn't understand that you're supposed to sell it higher than the next person being told.
Right.
Until crypto utility really comes around and crypto is no longer an adolescent, Bitcoin's no longer an adolescent asset. Utility and blockchain start running the world, guys. Understand that it is not kumbaya. You are getting in it to sell it higher than somebody else. And me personally, I like nice things. I like sports cars. I like a nice house. I like setting my kids up being first generation where my kid, I like being first gen, dude. I'm proud of that. But it's taken me a lot throughout the years, through 2016, 2017, buying these assets to see, for one, the environment is definitely changing in our favor.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is becoming a investment class. It's still an adolescent. It's becoming an investment class.
Yeah.
Two,
these bear markets aren't like, are we going extinct? That's the difference. Like, we know we're not going extinct.
Dude, there's a higher percent chance that Bitcoin goes to 1 million than zero. I'm just telling you right now, even though it's only at 60, 70 grand, dude, I love Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the 8th modern wonder of the world. It really is.
It is. It is. And the quantum risks, it's like, okay, you're worried about Bitcoin when like literally nuclear codes would be compromised if quantum computers break encryption. Like, there's so many
Bitcoin devs are going to have to do that, and they're going to have to hard fork it. You know what I mean? And see if something like that happens to quantum defense. And we're going to see that. And the other thing too, guys, is we don't know the ultimate coin that is going to be the blockchain that private issuers are going to be using, like banks and settlements and Swift. Canton Network proved that. Right. It just came out of nowhere. Fucking top 15 right away. Nobody knows how to hit that, guys. Nobody knows. So the coin that is going to be doing these things, you don't even know about yet. So minimize your risk. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, BNB isn't going anywhere. Tron isn't going anywhere. These are the biggest players in the crypto realm, dude. You guys got CZ and Binance. Hyperliquid putting on the stocks and securities and being able to attach whale wallets with leverage. Hyperliquid, I will be not be surprised if it hits a couple $100 and pulls a BNB up to $1,000. Hyperliquid's legit, guys. I wouldn't sleep on hype. Dude, I'm telling you guys, think about this too. October 10th, $19 billion, 9 of it was on Hyperliquid.
Yeah.
It is not just all Wintermute and Jane Street. Hyperliquid is a player. Okay. And so I got to be honest. I want Solana. I want Sol. I want Hype. I think Hype's going to kill it, dude. I really do that. Dude, $30. I bet you. I think we got a 10x in Hyperliquid. What would that put the current market cap? Let me just look at Hype real quick.
Yeah, pull it up here. Let's see. Because Hyperliquid, it's making lots of revenue while the chips are down for most of the altcoins.
A 10x only puts it at an 80 billion. Oh, yeah, dude. I'm telling you, Hyperliquid is no joke. Dude, not including if they burn tokens and stick to the BNB model. Dude, Hyperliquid is a serious player. That would put this thing at, in the top 5 if the market stayed where it's at. But, dude, all day long. That's one thing that Binance did, guys. They were burning $40 million at a time in token burning. This is why if we were to look at what makes BNB so special, all right? This is what makes BNB so special. If we went over here and you look at total supply, total circulating, it's 100%. Every single dollar that goes into this thing either makes it goes up. If a dollar leaves, it makes it go down. There is no dilution. It is legit. This is why BNB is stupid powerful. Now let's look at Hype.
The structure of that chart is so simple to look at. It's like it's got higher lows, it's got strength. Hyperliquid, same shit, higher lows, strength.
Oh my
in the
God,
bear
look
market.
at this, bro. Hyperliquid total supply, maximum supply. It's all out. It's almost all out. The total supply, max supply. Hyperliquid's going to $1,000 freaking dollars. Dude, you know what? I'm buying me stupid amount of hype, bro. Next pullback. I'm not gonna do it on a day that we're ripping, but I think Hyperliquid's a serious player.
Yeah, it's a decentralized exchange, ledger face. I will say this too. The market goes to shit every time I buy a car. So it is what it is. I don't know if it's luck or whatever, but every time I'm like, I need to go get a car. And you know what the fucked up thing is, Crank? So I was driving the Sienna around for like 4 years. And I was like, I hate this thing. can't wait to get a Sequoia and get the hell out of this. Like, I'm a Toyota Maxi, right?
Yeah.
But the only thing I could get other than the minivan was a Sequoia from how many kids I drive around. So the moment that I realized that the transmission was suspect, I ran to the dealership. I cheated all of my altcoins that I wanted to buy the truck with. And I went to the dealership. I bought it. And then I left my minivan in the hands of my mechanic. He fixed the minivan for $400. I thought it was dead.
And you went and dropped 70 G's, 50 G's for a brand new Sequoia.
It's like, my wife's like, don't do it. Don't go buy it. And I'm just like, no, I want the Sequoia. But I will say,
you're going to love the Sequoia, dude. Sequoia's, you're going to have it forever.
I love it.
Yeah, you're going to have it forever.
And TRD holds value. The turds hold value. I like the turds.
Every Toyota does, dude. Same thing with the diesel truck. I have a big old lifted I love my Ford F-350 Limited, dude. I love my truck.
My dad
love
my diesel calling
truck.
yours the cowboy Cadillac. Every time I see one, I think of you, man.
I love my diesel truck, dude. It's bad, but yeah, man. Yeah, these are good projects, brother. And guys, this is super cool that you're buying it at a discount. I mean, even Hyperliquid went up to $60. You're still buying a 50% discount.
Yeah.
Wait till Hyperliquid decides it wants to start burning some of its tokens, dude. Almost every single one of these guys start doing this, but the total supply is out. We're at a bear market. I like, dude. I'm going to start loading up. To be honest, I have a feeling that this sucker's going to rip.
Even with all the bombs going off in, God, that's a horrible pun, given what's going on right now. With all the downtrend in altcoins, I still like Tau. Solana, Hyperliquid, Morpho, and generally, like, I still hold some Chainlink. Canton's been treating me great. So there's still like bright spots in the altcoin sector. I'm just having to be really cautious about how I navigate this. This ain't like the 2020, 2021, throw a dart at the wall and you get a 10x at least. Like, money is diluted, and we have a new guard coming into crypto. So Crank, absolutely awesome having you on the show. I'm gonna be
and let me just rephrase that. Hold on real quick, because he's right. Total supply, max supply, circulating supply is only a quarter of that. So actually, this goes both ways, guys. If you guys don't understand, there could be more tokens that are either going to be burned or released, but it's called pumponomics. Right now that those coins are locked up, there's an incentive to pump this thing and then eventually lock out more coins or burn them. But yeah, I'm looking at that. I didn't see that. That's right.
Good looking out.
Yeah, just wanted to double check on that. That way everyone's got the right info.
I'm actually kind of excited. Like, Discover Crypto is going to come out with a show tonight that I'm filming here in a minute. And it's about how DeFi is making JP Morgan so uncomfortable that even with all of these integrations, Jamie Dimon came out and attacked DeFi again yesterday. Right after he did it, Trump comes out, kicks him in the balls with some Truth Social post. And this is a war between BlackRock and JP Morgan playing out in front of our eyes. It's a pretty fun time to be alive. So make sure to follow Frank.
Yeah, I just had another question. I just think, man, they just want their piece of that earning.
Oh yeah,
they just want the piece of their earning because we're getting 4 or 5%. And
there's actually a systemic difference though, because if they increase the yield to what DeFi is offering, they go insolvent quicker. Their books are already deep in the red from commercial real estate being less useful and less valuable. So the banks are sitting on about $500 billion in losses because most of that value that they're taking those loans from the Fed out on are based upon commercial real estate locations at their previous price structure before they went for 10 cents on the dollar. This is the crazy part about how big of a scam the banking sector is, Crank. So in 2023, when the banks were ready to have that banking crisis, you remember that? What the Fed did is it bailed the banks out based on the value of the commercial properties they had in their portfolio before COVID happened. They gave their emergency loans to these banks, assuming that the value of the commercial real estate's not, 10 million. They gave them valuations of $100 million on properties that were currently $10 million on the expectation that they would rise back up again and you'd see commercial office space useful again. Instead, the value has continued to go downtown. So they've over levered the bailout to the point where if the banks were to offer the same yield, it would be gone like that. It'd be gone like that. So they can't.
You're telling me and you, dude, need to get prepared to start buying a warehouse or two here on the cheap cheap. I'm here to tell you, that tells me, dude, you know, they only ask for 20. Isn't that the craziest thing about real estate, dude? You only ask for 20% to go borrow the 80%.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me I give you $1 million, I get to buy 5 million? If I give you 5 million, I get to buy 20. It's amazing.
Right.
It's crazy how that works, bro.
We should put some money together and let it sit on the sideline for it. If we do have that happen, and you know what, Laserface is right. Laserface is right. We need to show everyone this. So go to the FDIC website and you go to unrealized losses, and this will give you quarterly reports for where the banking infrastructure sits. And the nuance that they don't explain in this is where the losses actually come from, which is what I just explained, the commercial real estate value following downtown. So let's see. I want to go to 2025, fourth quarter 2025. I don't think I have any reports on 26 yet. So we got to go to the fourth quarter 2025. Now, the reason for printing and the death wobble on these banks is exponentially worse than it was pre-COVID. It's exponentially worse than it was during the 07, 08 collapse. And right now they're sitting at about $370 billion underwater. The injections from the Federal Reserve have gotten this, you know, to start to swoop back up to the upside. But what this is a death wobble to macroeconomics. When you overvalue commercial real estate and then it loses the value, you give emergency loans on value that was back in here to fix this time frame, then it, you know, we laugh and say, you know, oh, us in altcoins we're over levered. The banking infrastructure is over levered to the tills. So you're probably right, Crank. We probably should buy commercial real estate when we go nasty to the downside. That's actually what Nancy Pelosi's getting ready to do in San Francisco. Did you know that?
Yeah, dude. It's probably, dude. You can. What's crazy is you buy it on the cheap. The market comes back. All we got to do is borrow against it, dude. Refinance the son of a gun, and then you get all your freaking money back. We'll go park. Dude, I'm one hell of a car business kind of guy, dude. I've flipped probably over 100 personal cars, bro, and put 5 cars in it and put them on the internet, and we'll just sell, make $3,000-$4,000 a pop on each one a month, and just keep rolling. I mean, we'll park it over there in Georgia, dude. I don't care. I could be where I'm at. That thing will be on autopilot.
Yeah, this is why crypto though, is because this is the banking infrastructure. This is how underwater they have their books sitting right now, and I don't feel very comfortable leaving a vast majority of my savings in a bank. I just simply don't, because they can go in and take my money to fix this problem. That's the main thesis. Outside of chart go up and all that thing, it's about sovereignty. It's about having control of my assets. So, Crank, I'm going to film this video. Appreciate you coming out on the show, man. And we'll try to get you on DC so we can try to show your charts out to the DC audience as well, because they need to see it.
Let's do it, man. Get me on the DC. We'll rock it out. Love to spit with DZ and TJ and you guys. That would be super cool, man. But you guys have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. You know, keep a level mind. Continue to listen to the people that are sane, the groups that are sane, man. It's crazy out there.
Absolutely. See you guys.
All right, bro.